The wind calls me back to Randvi. Let's tell her the good news. You are a good boy.
Push me any further, Holger, and I will make you eat that wretched hat of yours. Do you not
Rowan, Holger, why all this shouting?
Eivor, thank Tyr.
I heard shouting. Is something wrong?
Holger robbed me, and I demand he be punished.
Rot is a pointed word. Does the deer rub the stream when she takes a drink? Does a cow rub a field when he crops on sweet grass?
Eivor, this matter requires sensitive judgment. Will you?
Of course. From the beginning, please.
Well now, there is no excuse too small, I see. Nothing to keep you from coveting that seat, is there?
In Sigurd's absence, who has better claim to oversee these disputes?
You might leave them to work it out for themselves, but that would mean letting go, would it not?
Please start again. Tell me all that has happened.
I will start. I have been falsely accused by this Saxon Philistine.
A filly what? Are you mocking me?
Silence, please. I will hear both of your complaints and render a decision, awarding compensation if needed. Understood? Rowan, tell me your version of these events.
As you are aware, Holger and I are neighbors. Near enough that I often catch him at my stables, stealing my tools.
Borrowing.
Holger, let him speak.
Stealing, borrowing. My point being, I have always allowed him to use whatever he pleased. I greatly admire your Norse generosity and had hoped to match it. But this morning, Holger stretched the limits of my grace. Entering my stables for their feed, I found my most beautiful, gentle mare stripped of her tail. Bereft, not a strand in sight. I am ashamed to say my natural suspicion drew me to Holger, and how right I was. For when I peered across the lane, there he was, gripping a horsetail brush slathered with indigo, dragging it across a sheet of...
Painting, Rowan. I was painting. You make it sound so crude.
You see? Such willful arrogance. It will take ages for Ilgafur's tail to reach its former length. I demand compensation.
I understand. Thank you, Rowan. Holger, let me hear your side.
Eivor, you have known me as a skald for years. You have seen how my poems bring life and joy and wisdom to our people. And you know that my work requires a certain, let us say, freedom to make use of rare resources to compose my verses. Often when lacking the proper tools, I have made use of novel items. Alvis's walking stick, Tovi's inks, all were given gladly.
You cut off my horse's tail to make a brush, you bleeding...
Rowan?
As I was saying, this morning in the throes of poetic reverie, I realized that my latest piece required delicate brushwork. I could have used a frayed stick, some cloth, my hands, but no. I needed something gentler, softer. To make a perfect brush, I needed the fine hairs of a well-raised horse. And so I availed myself of a local resource.
You clipped Alfgafur's tail to the rump without asking.
It was early. I did not wish to wake you.
Thank you, Holger. I believe I understand your position. I believe I have heard enough. If you will...
My horse looks like a fool, Eivor. No handsomer than a donkey now. You must do something.
Do not conflate hair with beauty, Rowan. She remains radiant. Elgifer's hair will grow back in no time.
Quiet, both of you. Now listen. Holger, Rowan is clearly in the right. You sheared the tail from his horse without gaining permission.
I borrowed the tail. Borrowed! Does the reality of regrowth not make this a victimless crime?
It is a two-victim crime, Holger. Though they are unharmed, you took without asking, and that will not do. As the horse's value has diminished significantly, you will pay Rowan its market price.
But the horse was not for sale. Rowan, admit it.
My decision is final, Holger. Pay what you owe, and meet tomorrow as friends.
And if I do, may I keep the horse?
Pay the man and be done with it. Rowan, does this satisfy you?
It does. Thank you, Eivor.
Good. Then by Tyr's blessing, let this matter rest. We're done here. Return to your homes in peace.
Would you allow me to pay you like I paid you after in some wish?
Oh, hello, Eivor. Good day. That Holger, he is quite the character.
I almost envy him. To see the world through such a muddy glass, and live with such petty concerns. He hasn't a care in the world.
Let's not walk too far with that idea. I need you right where you are.
East Anglia is with us. Their King Oswald has pledged his loyalty to us.
Eivor Kingmaker, we shall call you soon. Some interesting news. King Ceolwulf has sent Ceolbert to Shropshire. He hopes to install him as Ealdorman there.
Good for Ceolbert. He should do well considering all he has learned from you.
I gave him only a taste of my knowledge. The rest he will need to figure for himself. One more thing. I do not know if you heard, but Sven passed away a short time ago. The poor man slipped away in his bed.
I had not heard, no. And how is Tovi? She must be gutted.
It has been rough on her. She spends quite a lot of time at his burial mound. Speak with her, if you have the time.
I want to see the Alliance map. What of Oxenfordshire? Sigurd told me he had business there.
Ah, yes. Sigurd is there now, in fact. He bids you go meet him as soon as you can. He has partnered with a rebellious Thane called Giedrich, and hopes to install Giedrich as Ealdorman in exchange for an oath. There is an alehouse at the center of Buckingham. Sigurd will meet you there.
So Ceolbert has traveled to Shropshire.
He has, into a difficult situation. The Shire has been mired in a long war with Rhodri, King of the Britons. Ceolbert hopes to negotiate a peace with the Britons of the West. A difficult task for one so green.
I hope your tutelage has prepared him well.
Indeed. But I think it best if you supervise these talks. If Ceolbert can make this work, we will gain a valuable alliance.
I will make my way to Shropshire.
I am relieved. He and Ivar should be in Quatford just now. You will find it along the Hafun River.
If Ivar is with him, I will certainly be needed. Message has come. The trees overrun with mist. Now let the sighing of the branches soothe me, and may all thoughts of chaos fade.
Hurry! We are nearly there.
Peace, Frick. It will do us no good to arrive at our enemy's doorstep exhausted.
Sutur has our son, fair Baldur, fallen to treachery. Does that mean anything to you?
It does, and Sutra will pay a heavy price for it. We do not serve our cause by reckless haste. The tyrant of Muspelheim acts with purpose, and I would know the web he weaves before I'm caught in it.
So speaks one who never nursed our babe at the breast, nor held him as he slept. You were warming your wife's bed while I nurtured your son.
You were only too keen to send him to my care, and Freya's, when the call of adventure became too great to resist. Now dampen your heart fire. Captive he may be, but there's nothing in the Nine Realms that can harm Baldur.
There is one thing. Pick up your heels. Baldur was too mighty to be captured by force. I sense Loki's hand in this.
As do I. Yet still the wretch refuses to confess. That is why he waits in fetters for our return. Chained by my own hand, as I chained his son.
As he has chained ours in turn.
If he is truly conspiring with Sutur, he will know my everlasting wrath.
Will he, Harvey? Or will you forgive him once again, so he may wreak more misery upon us? You love your dear blood brother too well, when he has brought you nothing but pain.
We have brought each other pain.
Harvey, look!
Burned. Their corpses left as food for the crows. A dark omen indeed.
Come. There is no time to waste on the dead.
We should have done more. We should have rallied the whole of Asgard when the Muspels invaded Svartalfheim.
And you should never have let our son come here.
He sought to prevent this war. Was that not a worthy goal? As for Asgard, the Builder's treasury was still fresh. We needed to rebuild, honor our dead. There was little appetite for further conflict.
I recall you said the same when Surtur invaded Alfheim. Now the elves are no more.
Now you dredge up ancient history?
You should have intervened, Lord of Asgard. Then and now. Instead, Surtur has grown too bold, and our son may be the cost of it.
Do not say so, Frigg. We will find him yet.
What have they done? The city lies in ruins.
This is worse than I thought. They've put this land to flame and sword.
Baldur. He is nearby, Havi. I feel it.
You feel it?
The bond of mother and child. Something you will never understand. Now follow. Where is he? That way. Maybe this?
These buildings stand hollow. No one is here.
Then we have nothing to fear. There! Inside that house. He has been here. It is so faint.
Are you sure?
Can't you tell? Come. He must have gone this way. That building! Hurry!
I see no sign of Baldur.
No, but the essence of him lingers. It is stronger here than before. Do not slow, Havi. We are on his trail.
If this instinct is true, let us follow it further.
Where are you, my son? If they have harmed a hair on your head.
Keep faith, Frigg. We'll find him safe. We'll see. This city broods beneath a cloak of uneasy silence. Where is the enemy?
Concern yourself only with our son. He is close. I feel it now. He was here. The smell of his skin, his hair. It's as if he left but a moment ago.
There may be other signs. Keep watch. I will look upstairs. What is this place? What happened here? Mistletoe. They know. Who wrote this? Was it you, dear brother?
Havi! They're here! The enemy is upon us!
I should be cautious.
Freak! I'm coming!
sun demon.
He waits at my master's pleasure. There. But maybe not so fair as you remember.
Javi! More of them! Gorge your blade!
You will burn, Asgardians! Not ray beyond! Stand in our way! Kill the Aesir scum! Here they come! Will be your tomb! Meet your fate!
Then let's make this the final.
My son, you will feel them tenfold! I feel nothing but your empty breath.
Truly dear you falter, Lord of Asgard. You should never have come to my home. I will close your mouth with steel. Your dark ambitions end here, suitor. Surrender my son to me. Keep talking, High One. Your nose are as weak as I fear a dark destiny awaits you. Blustering fool! I seek the Northway. You look cold, Hawk. Let me warm you. Look like you could do with a lie down. You wanna watch this? No.
We must kill the High Lord.
He's not fated to die today.
The smell of death lingers in my nostrils. That was no mere dream. I must seek Valka's wisdom. Mistletoe.
The air hangs heavy around you, Eivor. You are troubled.
I had another dream. A vision, like the last. This one full of fire.
Tell me.
I saw the god, Balder, broken and beaten, held captive by his suitor. I tried to save him, but I was defeated and left to die in a pit of corpses. When I awoke, I found this in the fold of my clothing.
Balder also dreamt of his own death.
This tale I know. Afterwards, his mother Frigg visited everything, living or dead, and had them swear not to harm him.
But she overlooked the mistletoe bush.
And so fate had its way.
Not all visions are premonitions, Eivor. But all hide wisdom, if we have the wit to see it. Drink this, if you would know more. Then go to the sacred circle behind my hut. There is more mistletoe there. Lay the mistletoe around the circle. Light it, and stand within. We shall see what your dream has to teach you.
Mistletoe is in place, ready for burning. Toby.
Eivor, it's Sven. He passed while I was away.
Toby, I'm sorry I wasn't there.
No one was. We had planned to brand Tekla's barrels that morning, and we talked about what we might have for supper. And when I went to collect him, he was in his bed, sleeping, I thought. But he was already gone.
I'm sure he went in peace.
But he went with plans. Things he wanted to do, things he meant to do. His death was so empty, not like in our stories.
What stories do you mean?
When we tell stories, the old and wise, they have this calm about them. They know when their end has come and they're ready. Sven wasn't ready. And I wasn't ready either. He was supposed to teach me things. I'm still learning. Everyone looks at me like I will simply carry on his work, as if nothing happened, because they don't know. They don't know I'm not ready.
Life may ask more of us than we are prepared to give. But all we can do is our best. I was not prepared to lose my parents. But in a flash, they were taken from me. I pressed on, determined to live.
That must have been punishing. But you are so strong and so determined.
Someone else might have done better than me, or worse. But this was the fate woven for me, so I live it. I know Sven believed in you, in your craft. So do you believe in him? Do you trust him?
He was the most skilled artist I have ever known.
And he chose you. You may step up or step down, whatever you decide. But know that he had faith in you.
Thank you, Eivor. I need to get home.
Be strong, Toby. And know you are valued.
Eivor, are you prepared to go to Ireland?
Yeah, I would like to see this land. And my cousin Baurith.
A patchwork of petty kings jostling for hills and pastures and green glens. My adopted isle.
Azar, how is it that Barith, as Norse as ice, is king of Dublin?
Dublin is a Viking city, Eivor. But in fact, merchants and beggars come from all parts to parade in its muddy streets.
Odd to think of Barith as king of a city.
It perhaps sounds grander than it is. Ireland has many, many kings. They litter the countryside, and Barith's throne is not secure. Flann Sinna calls the tune.
Who's he?
Soon to be crowned High King of all Ireland. Flann distrusts Vikings, though he needs them.
Barith will find a way. As a boy, he wasn't much of a fighter, but somehow always came out all right.
I'm sure what you say is true. Certainly he is loved by his people. Your crew can find lodging here. Come, let us find Barith.
Eivor! Blood of my blood! Look at you! You have Anthrosta's cheekbones! And you, the 7-year-old lives in you still.
It has been a long stretch since we pelted old Ganfrid with apple cores.
He never forgave us that.
And Sigurd in the clan? How goes with all?
There's much to tell you, Barith, but let me breathe your Irish air.
Thank you for keeping my ports from being set ablaze in my absence.
My ports? Yes, old man. I can rule my city even without you here. Eivor, you arrive in good time. I'm hosting a feast in honor of my son, Sigfrid. He is 17 today.
A 17-year-old son.
And rather a difficult boy at that. Come, there's much to show on the way to my castle.
A kingship, a son, and a castle. Truly, you have a fine life, Barith.
Castle? It is a wooden house. Finely crafted, to be sure, but in Shiraz, it would be home to a middling rug merchant.
Lead me to your rock merchant's wooden hovel, Barith.
Sumarið fyrra og Sundilsórat virðist á sál sem við myndum falla af heimi. Anskotan sjómaður somna, segja hún.
Over here, Oh, fuck! Oh, certainly, Eget Hollow make you know.
Just look at her docks. Wee babe of a city, but the biggest port in all Ireland.
You cannot appreciate Irish air without enduring the stench of our docks.
It is upon the strength of this port I plan to secure my kingship.
Assar told me that your throne may not be entirely steady.
King Flann needs some persuading is all. Dublin's vast trade web will bring wealth to all Ireland. If Flann can be made to see that, my kingship and that of my children's children will be safe.
I cannot guarantee your throne, but a vast trading web is within my power.
No one else I'd trust my commerce to, old man.
You let him call you that?
I call him worse things.
I still owe you a horn of ale.
This is where I leave you.
Don't miss the banquet.
I'll be there shortly. nicey, King.
Aoife, this is my cousin, Eivor. Show him the bow I had you make for him.
This is for me? The craftsmanship is beautiful.
Me best work. Give her a try. Hit the targets before the sand runs out. Think you can get them all?
Of course I will. Stand ready to be astonished.
Aren't you the confident one? Sure, I'll be embarrassed for you if you shat on the eggs.
Watch my arrows fly.
I certainly will. Go!
It's a very nice bow. Thank you, Barith.
Steps off the boat after a long sea voyage and shoots like a master.
Well done, cousin. Wait, is that a house of God?
Aye, Christ's own church. Ireland is mostly Christian now, and so is Dublin. Many Norse chew the wafer.
You make a place for them.
Them? I myself have a place in Christ's house, as I do in the house of Thor. So long as a god has my back, he has my altar. I built this city up from rubble. 20 years ago, us Vikings were beaten. The Irish took revenge and sacked Dublin.
Asa told me that it's a Viking city.
Norse founded it, and I nursed it back to health. When I became king, I was king of a mud pit. There, up ahead, my home. My only regret is that my mother and my wife aren't here to greet you. They've gone on pilgrimage to the mountains just now. The waters there improve mother's health. I am left to discipline my wayward son.
And to host a banquet.
Which should be already underway.
Up, Barad, Fodia!
Here we are. Please, go enjoy yourself. I must have a word with my son. Come meet him before the night's out.
Hey,
Hi. Enjoying yourself?
It's great crack. It's a fine thing to celebrate future King Sigfrid.
I'm curious. How do you feel Barith has done as king?
Oh, he's done a lovely job, he has. Likes to throw feasts. Invites us common folk. More host than king, perhaps, but he's a fine man, and the city has never been busier.
Can I ask, what is your life like in this city?
Well, there's a fair amount of work, isn't there? Hauling crates, shoveling muck. I'm a tanner myself. Long days stripping hides and dousing them in cow piss. You can probably smell the stench.
I can. Enjoy the feast, friend.
You as well.
Azar, I was not sure if I would see you here.
Why is that?
I thought you'd rather take stock of your wares than placidly observe caterwauling Vikings.
And you would rather spend time with this gossiping auntie?
I like to greet everyone at parties.
There is no shortage of amusements. Enjoy yourself.
That I follow your example. The example of a pack mule.
Sigfrid! I expect my son to act like the future king, not roll in the muck.
So Flann will take you on as his farting court jester.
Think with your head and not your arse. Flann can assure my throne, which will one day be yours.
That makes you the arse.
Enough! Eivor, my son, Siegfried. I'm sorry, I must clear my head. Could you speak to the boy?
I was looking forward to meeting my cousin's son.
So, you're the cousin who Da speaks so fondly of. Is the old fool reduced to importing Vikings now?
In Norway, you'd be knocked to the ground by now.
Come on then, if you've any guts worth respecting.
Fine, whelp.
You won't land a single punch. I guess I owe you thanks for not beating me bloody.
I'm not here to quarrel with you, Siegfried.
Da speaks so highly of you. I wanted to see if you lived up to the stories.
Does anyone? You aren't happy with how your father rules?
Da has the makings of a fine king, but he chooses to play the unctuous merchant instead.
A visit to Norway might do a young Vikinger like you some good.
I'd love to go with Da. Maybe the homeland would kindle his warrior spirit. Give Dublin a fair and fearsome king.
I've lost track of your father. Any idea where he might be?
He wanted to clear his head. That means he's visiting grandfather's grave. Da has a chat with him almost every day.
Barith can commune with the dead?
No, his conversations are all one-sided. The grave sits at the top of the hill.
I'll find him. Thank you, Siegfried.
Eivor, teach me how to hit like that sometime.
Barith. Why so uneasy?
A king must forever be on guard. When I'm upset or uncertain, I come here to seek my father's spirit.
I didn't even ask after him. Somehow I knew he'd...
Some years ago, he was destined to die in battle, and he did.
He sits with Odin now. My family owes yours a sullen debt.
That winter, your family came to stay with us. I remember your birth, screaming like a warrior.
The plague year. No one would take us in. No one but your mother and father. I owe your family my life.
And what a life we had. I have fond memories of you and I slipping out to hunt.
In dead of night. Stars in the sky, moonlight on snow. And that's how I got that scar.
I do feel bad about that. What about the one on your cheek?
This? A caution from the gods about my vanity.
Come, if we tell all our stories, we'll be here a week.
Do you see something?
My imagination run amok, but let us away.
Eivor, I'm over here! Funny how just the slightest noise sets a fellow on edge.
By Thor's hammer, Barith. I could sleep a week.
Not as spry as the old days, eh? When we'd search the night in hopes of catching a will-o'-the-wisp.
Did we catch one? I have a memory of catching one.
Give yourself up! Grab him! Bind his hands!
Who are these men?
You bastards!
Take your last breath.
Who were they?
My ascension to the throne has not been without contest. The previous king's son, Thorstein, is resentful.
You told me nothing of this.
You are my guest. I'm not going to burden you with petty concerns.
Petty concerns. I now know why you've been anxious all evening.
Aye, 'tis worrying. He's never been so bold before.
He sees you as a usurper to his throne.
Perhaps, but he doesn't seem to want to take it. He contents himself by stealing and smuggling with his band of ruffians. It's petty Viking raiding, but it puts me in a bad light with Flann. That's certain. Keep a sharp watch. Brigands rove the streets tonight.
You can be sure of me, my king.
What? You know I am always the last to leave a party. What is wrong?
We were ambushed by Thorstein's men. Rivals I was not made aware of.
Small wonder King Flann does not embrace you, Barith. You cannot keep control of the Vikings in your own city.
Thorstein makes me look like more of an arse than I do on my own.
I see. It is the High King's disfavor that makes this shameful. My cousin, I will take care of Thorstein.
No, I do not want to drag you into this sorry mess. Perhaps you'll accept silver to lie low.
For a week or two. But then he'll be back, and back again. I can remove this blood, once and for all.
Eivor, this is not your fight.
For any and all of your gods' sakes, Barith, let Eivor help you.
As of this moment, Barith, my arm is yours. Whatever is needed to bring Flann's smile upon you, I will do.
Eivor, I've never been so happy.
Your family saved mine those years ago. A fitting reply would be to secure your throne. I will start with Thorstein.
It happens that Siegfried may know something. He once ran with Thorstein's gang.
Sadly true. Seek him tomorrow in the marketplace. After a night of carousing, he likes to recuperate there.
We will begin to forge a bond with High King Flann on Rise of Sun.
Barrett said Siegfried would be at the marketplace. I need to learn about Thorstein.